Hey everybody, welcome to One Beer With. This is Dan Murphy here on my little interview series where I sit down and have a beer today in the red Solo cup with somebody I find to be particularly interesting, and we just kind of kick back and shoot the breeze. So here I am with Colin Delaney, former WWE superstar, and today known as the Extremely Cute Wrestler, which is your name,
sure,
not the name that I'm just saying.
Right.
Because we're here.
You know how many times ring announcers do that to me when I say Extremely Cute Wrestler? They're like,
yeah, but what's your nickname?
You want me to call you that? It's like, I mean, you call people all sorts of things. I don't know. I never understand. Like, I think they think it's like ring announcer humor sometimes. Yeah. And now after watching this, I'm gonna go to shows and ring announcers gonna be like, no respect for the ring announcers, huh? But no, like sometimes they give me shit for it. Like, oh, can I swear on this?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's too late. I'm not exactly good with editing, so yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, no, now I have ring announcer heat, so...
Yeah, I can understand.
Perfect. Once this thing hits the internet, everywhere I go.
Don't worry about it. Nobody views my stuff anyway. But here's the thing. I'm going to say to the camera guy, the big guy over there with the camera, give me a heads up around the 12-minute mark. If we get to that point and cut me off, that'll be the last call. So, what I want to say is WWE, all right?
Uh-huh.
How old were you when you got signed over here?
I was 21. I did my first match in December there. Okay. I had just turned 21 in September. So, pretty freshly 21. And like a young 21.
Right, too. And that fit the character, where you were the guy, the underdog, getting beaten up all the time, smaller guy, undersized guy, but you really were just a young kid.
Right, yeah. I don't know. 21 for some people is different than 21 for me, I guess. I didn't drink at 21. I didn't do any drugs. I never even touch that stuff. And even when I turned 21, I didn't. When I turned 21, I had a bunch of friends over for like pizza and we watched football. Like that was the kind of 21 I was going in at. So
welcome to WWE. You're on the road. You've got per diem, and that could be trouble. Well, what was it like? Because you had been wrestling for what, 4, 5, 6 years before that?
About 5 years before that. It was like my 5th year of wrestling. And
then you go from the real tight knit community. We're here in Rochester now, where you cut your teeth. And then you're with WWE, where the biggest company in the world. You're in the ring with these huge, giant guys because they're just feeding you to monsters every week.
Sure.
What was your life like at that point?
I don't know. I guess blissfully ignorant because I was still like just a kid. So I would walk around there just like, hey, I'm the kid. Hey, just happy to be here. Like I don't know. People talk about politics and drama and all that stuff. I don't know. I was a kid. I just walked through it like just. Here I am, loving life.
So you weren't walking on eggshells or anything like that?
No, and I guess I saw people walking on eggshells, and I heard about people walking on eggshells, but it wasn't, I don't know. I just went there and did what they wanted me to do and was just happy to do it. I was a kid doing the only thing I ever wanted to do.
Exactly.
So it's like, I didn't care. I didn't care what they wanted me to do.
Now, what was the worst part, or not the worst part, because like you said, you're living your dream, but here you are, a smaller guy. You're probably 160, 170 pounds at the time, maybe?
Oh, less than that.
Less than that.
Yeah, I mean, if I was touching 160, we were lucky. I was probably 155, maybe.
And they're putting you in the ring with Viscera, and they're putting you in the ring with I think, was it Umaga? Was he one of the guys you worked with?
I did a thing with Umaga on like the Raw draft show.
Yes, okay.
He hurled me. And he hurled me and he was supposed to do more, and they just were like, no more. You've killed the kid with one.
He's already dead.
Yes, don't even pick him. Don't pick him up. Don't bother. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't that. It was wrestling.
Was it intimidating being out there with the real big guys, or was it intimidating being out there in front of 12,000 people, or were you just so jacked up on adrenaline that you're like, this is awesome?
There was never, I don't know. It wasn't intimidating being around these big guys. That didn't really, because the wrestling part never really worried me because I knew I'd been doing that for 5 years. That was easy.
Okay.
A lot of the backstage stuff and like the in-ring interviews, that stuff would make me nervous.
Gotcha.
I remember the one time I got nervous. I still don't really get nervous before I wrestle. It's just, I don't know. It's wrestling to me. It's all overdone, so I understand wrestling. But I was in the ring, like just waiting for Chavo Guerrero to come out, where I was going to wrestle him for the ECW title in the main event on ECW. And I was just sitting there waiting. And for whatever reason, that night I decided to look around and like really think about it for a second, and I was like, like I felt my breath go away.
National television.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, wait a second. Yeah, this is happening. But other than that, I never really thought about it. I mean, I wrestled in the main events of SmackDown at the sold-out Staples Center in L.A. I wrestled in the O2 in London. I wrestled, like these huge arenas where like thousands and thousands of people are there.
But you still seem that like you have. Some people go to success, be it in wrestling, WWE, music, whatever field they get into.
Sure.
And they change a little bit. They get the big head. They don't hang out with the same people necessarily. Whatever. What was it like for you to stay in touch with the other people here? You're a small town guy in Rochester, and I mean, did your relationships change, or?
I mean, kind of, but not really. I was only there 8 months, like 9-ish, if you're getting technical. But that's all I was there for. So, and I still lived in Rochester the whole time.
So you're still seeing the same people.
Yeah,
it's not like you went away and came back.
I don't think you're supposed to go to indie shows, but like I would come to the shows here. I'd throw a hoodie up. I'd go see the guys and just like. I don't know. I always say I wasn't really gone long enough that I ever wasn't an indie guy, wasn't a local guy, wasn't one of these guys. So while I did do it, it didn't. The weirdest part is coming back on like the indies and guys who've been doing this way longer than me, who are way older than me, calling me sir because I was on TV. It's like that's so obnoxious. Why do you do that? Like I get it, I get the respect, but that's like just because I was on TV, doesn't necessarily earn me more respect than a guy who's been doing this 10 years.
And forgive me for going with 2 beers with Dan Murphy here, but I'm thirsty tonight.
I know, man. Going down quick.
But when a guy does that to you and they call you sir, somebody who's got 10 years or more experience, whatever, do you think that's really to show respect to you, or is that them trying to make a show of them showing respect to you?
I don't know.
Is it more for other guys in the room?
I don't know. I mean, currently I'm 27. So like,
you're 27 years old. Like most guys, maybe not most, but haven't even started their career yet. Like and you've done all this already.
Yeah, I'm in my like 12th year of wrestling, and it's like I've done a lot. Hellcat the other day, literally just Thursday, goes, "You're 30 now, right?" And I was like, "I'm what? Come on!" I think it's just because I've been around so long.
Yeah.
Like I've been people just keep seeing my face, so naturally they're like, "You gotta be coming on 30 now." But I started doing this when I was 16.
Right.
So, I mean, I can understand it in a way, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm not that old. I still don't like being called sir. And at this point, I am the sir.
Now you got the facial hair.
Yes.
You're trying to make yourself look a little bit older.
And at this point, I am the guy who's been around like 10, 12 years, as opposed to when I was the guy around 5 years, and the 10, 12-year veterans are call me sir.
What I noticed is you did a battle royal a little while back in Buffalo with DSW, and you were in that. There's 30 guys doing the whole thing, and I was actually in that match too, wearing a hood. But the thing is, there was to toss you, and I kind of hit the guy that you're. Anyway, you just without breaking character, without doing anything, kind of laughing like thank you, and it's like you just seem so relaxed in the ring. Were you always that relaxed and comfortable?
No.
Or how long did it take before you were able to really get that level of comfort? To be conversational in the ring.
No.
Yeah, I'm in the ring. I can do whatever.
Yeah, I don't really know. I guess WWE helped that a lot because at that point, once I've done that, I mean, once I've been in front of XYZ amount of people, I don't know. Nothing really.
Nothing phases you.
No, not really. And I don't know. I always feel like if I'm having fun in there and people can see that I'm having fun in there, then they're having fun too. And that's what we want everyone to do. We want everyone to be entertained and have fun.
So you don't feel your experience after WWE, it was short, it was 8 months, but you were very young. 10 years later, not that we're quite there yet, or even beyond that, do you think that you're going to be bitter? Do you think you're going to be like, how come they wanted me then and may not necessarily want me now? Or
no.
How come they didn't use me more? Or,
no.
I mean, no, you're satisfied with how everything went?
But I think that's more my life than a wrestling outlook. I just don't look at anything like that, really. I look at everything like everything happens for a reason. I'm not a religious human. I'm not with a ton of beliefs, but I do believe that everything happens for a reason, and it happened then, and if it doesn't happen again, it doesn't happen again. But I had a blast doing it, so it's not. I mean, I can't see myself ever really being. I was going to try and name a name of somebody who's like that, but I can't come up with one off the top of my head.
But there are anyone.
Sure.
You find bitter guys.
You see them, and
well,
I feel like
it's because they presented you in such a way where you're getting your tail kick.
Yeah, I'm a verb now. Like anytime a skinny human comes on wrestling, like on TV, They're like, oh, new Colin Delaney. We got Colin Delaney out there, and it's like that's crazy. I'm a verb now.
Yeah.
So I do think it's very flattering that even though I was only there 8 months and I didn't have the longest run, man, it must have been pretty memorable.
Absolutely.
The fact that people
yeah.
can still use my name on WrestleMania, because me and Daniel Bryan strike kind of similarities. We have, I've been told from like a side profile, William Regal was the first one to tell me that I look like Daniel Bryan before he was even signed.
This was when Regal was drinking?
No,
okay.
We were.
Regal's just saying, Daniel Bryan looks like some guy.
We were, because he helped train Daniel Bryan back in the day, so we were on the bus on the way to WrestleMania, and he turned to me and asked if anyone's ever told me that I look like Bryan Danielson.
Wow.
And at the time, I had long hair, no facial hair, and I was, no one has ever told me that. And now that I grew a beard and cut my hair, I mean, he's got the long hair now and the beard, but man, for a minute, I couldn't go anywhere without Yes Chance.
Really?
Yeah, it got bad for a minute. I had to learn how to do the Yes Lock just out of sheer necessity.
We're calling for it, I guess.
Life necessity.
This way.
I guess here's where it goes.
All right, that's very cool. Now, what is, last question really, your thoughts, anyone watching this who, following your shoes, aspiring pro wrestler wants to make it to the WWE, is it skill, is it luck, is it being in the right place? What is it, and what would you say to somebody like that?
It's everything. I mean, it's wanting to do this is what it is. I tell people that all the time. You are going to get out of wrestling what you put into wrestling. And some people will tell me that's not true. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are going to fight that one. Because that's not always necessarily true. But especially early on, if you want it bad enough, you'll get out of it what you're putting in. Like, try. I was just talking to some guys the other day who have been doing this for a while but never really tried to get out there and are just trying to, and they're 6-7 years in. And it's like, well, if you busted it for the first year, the second year, when you're supposed to be gritting your teeth and really getting into it, it would be, I don't know, it would be easier now. So
absolutely,
use the time you got.
Very cool. All right, Colin, thank you very much, man. Cheers. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on One Beer With.